What is going on, guys and girls? How you doing today? It's Single Roleplay here once again, and today I'm gonna talk a little about the Awakener kill event, which was presented a couple of days ago on part of Exile forums. And this is a special event that is done in teaming up with the Zizaran, which is the top tier streamer for Path of Exile, with a big prize of $30,000 in cash provided by the Ziz, and over $23,000 worth of microtransactions provided by the GGG. So what's the event is, it starts on December 13th, which will be the start of the league, and there will be 2 letters. And the event will be about killing the endgame boss of the Metamorph League and the Conquerors of the Atlas, called the Awakener. Every kill of the Awakener with a fully watchstone Atlas, and each watchstone placed in the Atlas increases the tiers of the maps in the region of the Atlas. So basically, with the maximum amount of watchstones, you get the maximum amount of tier on your Atlas. So the maximum watchstone Atlas with the Awakener kill, the first Awakener kill in the solo self-found hardcore league, will be presented a price. The first place is $8,000, second $4,000, third $2,000, and the rest are mostly different prizes, with one of the coolest prizes being the deepest delve, $4,000. This is pretty insane. The event will last for 1 month, starting December 13, which will end on January 13th, I guess, right? And what is the coolest part about this is that it is solo self-found hardcore, so no Orobots, no trading, completely solo self-found, and hardcore too. Considering this is an absolutely new content we've never seen before, the bosses are absolutely new, no one really knows what is happening. There will be a lot of deaths, and overall is absolutely fantastic idea in my opinion. Another thing is about the second ladder. So the first ladder will be tracking the first ever kills in the hardcore solo self-found of the Awakener, and the second ladder will be tracking the amount of kills of the boss. And this second ladder will be the winners of the second ladder will be presented a giant amount of different expensive MTX sets, and there will be 20 players. From the least, they will be given a giant amount of expensive MTX, over $20,000 worth. Now, what about the event itself? I think that the idea is cool, definitely. It's something cool, it's something fresh, it's something definitely very hard. You need extensive knowledge in the game to really even try to participate in this event. At the same time, there are a couple of problems that I want to talk about, and the first big problem is definitely that it's a logout core event, which means that people will be logging out like crazy using the logout macro, and the state of hardcore in Path of Exile is in extremely poor now, I would say. And if you guys don't know what's hardcore in Path of Exile right now is about, I have a really cool video demonstration of the state of hardcore, which has been like for years, since Chris Wilson himself agreed on using logging out macros for the game, and that's practically your Path of Exile right now. That's what most top players hardcore, how they play the game right now. I'll just show you how it is. So if there is some kind of danger, you get hit or you see your health drops, you basically press a combination and instantly logging out to the starting screen. We can select the character and try it again, go to the portal, do whatever we want, don't get hit, don't get hurt. So this is a fucking hardcore in Path of Exile. This video done by Carve is like the perfect showcase of the shittiness of logout core, as I said, in Path of Exile right now. So hardcore was completely killed by the GG themselves when they allowed using logout macros, and for me hardcore in Path of Exile just does not exist as a whole. I call it logout core because everyone is logging out. There's not even many players in the game who are not using logout macros, and if you start making like discussions about using and the ethical state of using logout macro. There's always two kind of big camps here. One defending logout macro because they always say that Chris Wilson agreed on using macro. He is allowed it himself, and this is fine. Everyone is using it, so shut the fuck up. Logout macro is allowed by the developers, so get fucked, dude. I mean, and the second camp is more of the oldest hardcore players who still remember the times when hardcore was actually hardcore, when people died, well, if they were stupid or not cautious enough, because in hardcore you are meant to die. This is the hardest content in the game, the hardest mod in the game, and you are supposed to die if you're a dumb, stupid, don't know content, get hurt, make some dumb shit, jump into some extremely dangerous situation. You are supposed to die. This is the whole reason of hardcore, dying in a very dangerous content. And right now this content is trivialized by logging out, and this is exactly what I'm showing you right here. Like I said, this is a perfect example of the state of hardcore in the game right now. So like I said, I really like the idea of the league and of this event, the small event within the league. I think it's absolutely fantastic, but it is it's suffering from two problems. First of all, logout macros, because it gives an absolutely unfair advantage between the people who are still believing in a true hardcore and the rest of the majority, like maybe 99% of the players who are using this on a daily basis, even on softcore, simply because just easy to save your experience. You can jump into all kind of shit and save yourself from death. This gives an absolutely unfair playing field between the two camp of players who truly hardcore, who are not logging out and not using hotkeys to log out to the character selection screen, and those players who actually do this and just don't give a shit because this is allowed by the company itself. And the second problem is definitely that it applies to the very, very small percentage of the players, maybe like 0.01%, and for the majority of the players, like 99.9%, this is an absolutely worthless kind of event, because they will never make it past maybe the first map or past first boss. The majority would just die and waste their time and progress. They just don't have the skills enough to survive there, and not enough knowledge of the skill mechanics in the game in general, and not even considering that this is like entirely new content. We don't really know what the bosses are doing. We don't really know how hard is this. We don't really know what are the watch tones also. For the majority of players, it will be a complete waste of time. And another problem is that this is a hardcore solo self-found mode, and this will kill the softcore, the hardcore trade league entirely, because this is a pretty big deal, right? There's a big prize pool, there's a big prize money, there's a lot of microtransactions, so there will be absolutely no reason to play normal hardcore trade at this point. I think that this mod is kind of completely pointless, simply because everyone will be using this as an additional challenge for themselves, even though they know they will not win this. You gotta be very good at this to actually do something in this kind of solo self-found mode. But yeah, hardcore trade will be absolutely dead on arrival in the Metamorph and Conquerors of the Atlas expansion. That's my thoughts, guys. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this Awakener event. How do you feel about logout macro? Do you believe that it is okay to use the trader macro in the logout macro in the hardcore in any game? It doesn't matter, this game or any other game. How do you feel about that? Let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.